Major, Sokolov's already been moved to the fortress.
But that's only what Granin told you, right? He may have been giving you false info.
No, he wasn't lying.
How can you be so sure?
Gut feeling.
Good enough for me. According to Granin, you should be able to get to the mountains through a passage located deep in the jungle beyond the warehouse.
Right. Then if I climb the mountains, there'll be an underground tunnel leading to Groznygrad near the summit.
Start out by going back to the warehouse. Use the key you got from Granin to open the door and proceed into the jungle. You remember where the door is, don't you? It's directly north of the door you went in when you came from the aqueduct.
Who are you? Somebody!
Lost sight of the enemy. He's here somewhere. Find him.
What's that noise?
I hear something. Who's that?
in the venom of the Brazilian wandering spider. Soon, a most exquisite pain will engulf your entire body. Your limbs will be paralyzed, your lungs cease to draw breath. Eventually, your heart will stop beating. But what fun would that be? Not a fitting death at all. The boss's apprentice. I will give you fear such as you've never experienced before. Come into my web. It is time for you to feel the fear.
Ah. It was rotten. Ah. This is rotten. Ah. That's damn good.
Here comes another one! The fear! The fear! I see it! The fear!
According to Granin, you should be able to get to the mountains through a passage located deep in the jungle beyond the warehouse. Start out by going back to the warehouse. Use the key you got from Granin to open the door and proceed into the jungle. You remember where the door is, don't you? It's directly north of the door you went in when you came from the aqueduct.
Sigint, Granin said something about putting legs on a tank. Do you know what he was talking about?
If you ask me, it's gotta be a joke. Not only is making a tank walk on two legs a technical nightmare, but there's no point in making a walking tank to begin with. Putting legs on a tank would raise its clearance, increasing its frontal projection area. It'd also be less stable. Suppose the legs help the tank travel on bad roads. I don't see the logic in that. Isn't that what treads are for? I mean, anybody who'd seriously consider making a thing like that has got to be a wacko. Come to think of it, there was a guy in the States who wrote a paper on that subject. What was his name? Emerson? Heinrich? Something like that. I don't really remember. Of course, no one took that seriously.
Sigint, Granin was saying that Sokolov's research project was a tank fitted with rockets.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any idea what he meant?
Sorry, beats me. I wonder if it's supposed to increase the tank's mobility, or maybe give the tank short-range missile launching capability. But you're sure it has something to do with Phase 2 of the Shagohod, right?
Yeah.
Khrushchev traded Cuba just to get this thing finished, and Volgin blew up a Soviet research facility to get his hands on it. Whatever it is, it's gotta be big.
I see you found some flyagaric mushrooms. The flyagaric is a relative of the deathcap mushroom that grows only in that region. You'll find it growing on the ground, but it's poisonous, so if you pick one up, don't eat it. If you do eat one, go into the survival viewer immediately and use Cure to take some antidote. The poisons found in the flyagaric include phallotoxins and amatoxins. It says here that when you eat it, the initial symptoms include nausea, stomach pain, and diarrhea. Finally, your liver and kidneys will break down into a sponge-like substance and you die.
Sounds like a horrible way to die.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So how does it taste?
Huh?
How does it...
Were you listening to me? The flyagaric is poisonous.
I heard you, but if I did eat it, it might taste good, right?
I give up.
Sigint, do you know anything about that philosopher's legacy Granin was talking about?
Not a clue. Never even heard of something like that until now.
Right.
One thing's for sure, though. Vogan's got a huge amount of money stashed away somewhere. Philosopher's legacy, huh? Maybe it is real. That Order of Lenin that Granin was talking about is the most prestigious award in the Soviet Union. It's given to individuals, organizations, and cities for outstanding achievements in warfare, science, industry, the arts, and various other fields. You could say it's the highest honor the East has to give. You say Granin was involved in the development of the SS-1C. The SS-1C is the Soviets' newest short-range tactical ballistic missile. Based on what Western intel has been able to gather, it's capable of being launched from a mobile platform.
A mobile platform?
Yeah, It's a transport vehicle that functions as an erector and a launcher. It can travel on roads, then erect and launch a missile from any location. Of course, in addition to conventional explosives, the missiles could also be fitted with chemical or even nuclear warheads.
A nuclear missile that can be launched from any location.
I'll bet it wasn't the missile itself that Grannon helped develop. More likely, it was the mobile platform. From what I've heard, the SS-1C is set for actual deployment as early as next year. That's bound to send a chill down NATO's spine. Hey, Snake, what's that you're wearing?
It's spider camouflage. It used to belong to the Fear.
Is that right? Well, it's not as good as the stuff the Fear was wearing, but it still seems to have a pretty decent amount of stealth capability. From the looks of it, the wearer uses stamina to power the stealth function. With this thing on, your camo index will stay at a high level no matter where you go. But if you run out of stamina, the stealth function will stop working. Keep that in mind. Clappers, arrows, pendulums, all of these traps are set off by applying force to a rope. Don't touch the ropes and you'll be fine. Use rolling to get over them, or just crawl under them. Either way ought to work. Snake, what's that camouflage?
It's called Hornet Stripe. I got it from the pain.
No kidding. Sounds like a pretty unique design. From the looks of it, it's somehow infused with the power of hornets.
The power of hornets?
Sure. When you're wearing that outfit, hornets won't attack you. Neither will spiders or leeches. You might even be able to tame the ones that come flying out of a hive. Covering your body is a good start, but a bare face will kill even the best camouflage. If the situation calls for a high camo index, you better break out the face paint. To apply face paint, select face from the camouflage menu in the survival viewer. Then choose a face paint that blends in with your surroundings. The camo index, located in the top right corner of the screen, tells you if your outfit is getting the job done. The higher the value of this index, the harder it is for the enemy to spot you. Try your best to keep the camo index as high as possible. If you do set off a trap and an arrow or a spiked pendulum comes flying your way, you can still dodge it by immediately diving out of the way. If you do set off a trap and an arrow or a spiked pendulum,
Munchies!
That tastes good.
Munchies!
That tastes good.
Ah, this is horrible. Ah, I want some more.
So hungry.
So long.
I'm so hungry.
I see you found a Yabloko Maloko.
Diablo, what now?
Yabloko Maloko. It's a Russian name that roughly translates as milk apple. It's a type of star apple. The juice is thick and sweet, like milk, hence the name. And if you cut one in half lengthwise, you'll see a star-shaped ring radiating out from the center.
Hence the star apple.
Right. The star-shaped part has a gelatinous texture and is said to be especially tasty.
Sounds useful,
You're welcome.
for once.
Did you say something?
No, back to the mission.
Snake, are you there?
Eva, where are you?
In the fortress, in Groznygrad. Dr. Sokolov is here too.
Is he all right?
He's fine. Right now he's busy putting the finishing touches on the Shagohod.
Good. That means they haven't killed him.
Not yet anyway, but you better hurry. They've already finished the Phase 2 tests. Once the final preparations are complete, they'll have no more use for him. The Colonel won't have any qualms about killing him if he thinks the CIA is closing in.
Eva, you can't let Sokolov out of your sight.
I know. Snake, do you know where Groznygrad is?
Granin told me that I should be able to get there from the mountains to the north, through an underground tunnel.
Granin told you?
Yeah, he even gave me the key to the warehouse.
Why?
Because he was drunk, I guess.
You've got to be kidding me.
Hell if I know.
Snake, there's one problem with that route.
What problem?
The mountain entrance to the underground tunnel that leads to the fortress is sealed. You need a key to get in.
A key? What about the key Granin gave me?
That key won't work. But don't worry, I'll figure something out. I have an idea. There are some ruins at the top of the mountains. Meet me there.
The top of the mountains. Got it.
Wait, there's something else I've got to tell you.
Now what?
I heard that one of the Cobras is waiting for you in the jungle at the foot of the mountains. He's a legendary sniper called The End.
Yeah, I've seen him before. That ridiculously old guy, right?
Don't underestimate him. He's known as the father of modern sniping.
Is he alone? No spotter?
None. He's all by himself. Apparently, he doesn't need a spotter.
You can't be serious.
The entire forest is on his side.
The forest?
Stay alert.
Yeah, I'd hate to have it be the end for me. Tell me something, Sigint.
What's that?
What does Sigint mean, anyway?
It's short for signal intelligence.
Signal intelligence?
The part of intelligence that deals with electronic information. Things like intercepting and analyzing electronic communications, determining enemy force strength and positioning from radar emissions and radio chatter. You get the idea. Code breaking is considered part of SIGINT as well. 40 years from now, we'll be in the age of electronic warfare. It won't be long before information replaces firepower as the most valuable commodity on the battlefield.
So you're saying they won't need guys like me anymore?
Sorry to break it to you, but that's not gonna happen. No matter how advanced our technology gets, there's still no substitute for human beings. Anyway, the Major is a man of foresight. He knew the electronic age was coming, and so he called out to me.
And you responded?
Well, I didn't have any place else to go.
You couldn't find a job?
Nope. None of the places where they do this kind of high-tech research would even let me in the door.
Why not? I know you've got social problems, but...
Come again?
Nothing. I mean, someone with your talent ought to be able to...
Yeah, well, maybe it has something to do with the fact that I'm black. The Major, though, he doesn't care about what color you are. I've never met anyone like him before. He's different, you know?
Oh, yeah, I know.
I don't think racism's gonna go away even in the 21st century. But I want to work with computers and use them to bring people closer together. In the digital world, it doesn't matter whether you're black or white, American or Russian or whatever. Everybody's going to be the same. That's what I think.
When you get hurt, your body will heal itself naturally over time. However, the speed at which your life recovers depends on how much stamina you have at the time. The more stamina you have, the faster you'll recover. So if you want your wounds to heal quickly, you should eat something and replenish your stamina first. To eat food, press the Start button to enter the survival viewer, then select Food. Select the food you want to eat and press the Enter button. Select Eat, and you will eat the selected food. When you eat, you will recover your stamina, but the extent of recovery depends on what you eat. When your stamina is down only slightly, you should save your tastier morsels for later. But don't leave food for too long or it'll rot. This is where a little planning ahead goes a long way.
What the? I'm just seeing things. Huh? I hear something. Huh? I hear footsteps.
I beg of you, grant me the strength to take this final prey. Let me linger in this world just a little longer. I have already slept enough for one lifetime. Enough for an eternity. You have my thanks. I have to thank you for waking me. If you hadn't shown up, my sleep would have been eternal. Do you hear me, Snake? I am the end. I am here to send you to your ultimate fate. You'll make a fine quarry for my final hunt.
Eva, I found that sniper you were talking about.
That's the end. He's a legend, known as the father of sniping.
I've got experience sniping in urban and marine environments.
What about the forest?
Never.
I see. Well, that forest is divided into 3 areas, a river, a plateau, and a clearing. He should be lying in wait for you in one of those places.
Sounds like this may take a while.
It'll be a test of endurance. Be careful, though. From what I've heard, the End has an almost supernatural knack for camouflaging himself.
So, whoever moves first loses. This guy's over 100 years old, though, so I should have the advantage in terms of stamina.
I wouldn't be so sure if I were you.
Why's that?
I've heard that his body is photosynthetic, like a plant.
What is he, some kind of monster?
On top of that, he can speak to the forest, too.
So in other words, he knows it inside out.
Uh-huh. But he doesn't know you. I'm sure you can beat him.
Don't worry. I intend to.
Socrovieno Forest is a big place. It's times like this that the map function in the survival viewer can be your best friend. Not only does it show you the terrain and the places you've been, but you can also use it to figure out which locations the End has chosen for his sniping positions. Learn the terrain and try to catch the End off guard from behind.
If he shoots you with one of those tranquilizer rounds, you'll start to lose stamina fast. When your stamina gauge reaches 0, you'll pass out. If you're hit by a tranquilizer round, go into the survival viewer right away and treat the wound. Use your knife to dig out the needle.
You're going to have a real tough time beating the End without a sniper rifle. There's an SVD in the armory in the southern part of Socrovieno. Go get it. I know it's hard to believe, but the End is apparently capable of photosynthesis. He's probably got an edge over you in terms of stamina. You should start hunting for plants and animals and prepare for a battle of attrition.
here.
Ah, pretty tasty.
Snake, the End is a veteran sniper. He's hiding somewhere in those woods, waiting for you to appear. If he sees you, he'll shoot without hesitation. Make your way through the forest, hiding along the way, and watch out for signs of the End. Anticipate his movements, and come up on his side or get behind him for a chance to attack. If you run out of stamina, it's all over. Make sure you keep your stamina up by hunting for food on a regular basis. This battle will be a long, grueling sniper duel. But don't let your guard down, not even for a single moment.
If you run out of stamina, you won't be able to resist the effects of the End's tranquilizer rounds, and you'll end up falling asleep. Hunt for food on a regular basis to keep your stamina level up. If you start to run out of food or ammunition, you should think about leaving the woods and coming back later. In any case, always keep an eye on your stamina gauge. You'll thank me later.
freeze. Huh? How did you?
Ah. Delicious. Ah, that's tasty.
You call yourself a son of the boss? Mighty forest, lend me your strength. Freeze! How did you... Try this.
I want more.
We're just getting started.
Freeze!
How did you... I don't think so. I don't think so. Here, take it and go. Spirits of the forest, I thank you. The boss would be proud of you. The time has come for a younger generation to rise. I've been wandering for more than a century, and now my journey comes to a close. What a splendid way to end it all. I have no regrets. I can return to the Forum Allah.
The forest you're in now is known as Socro Vieno. The name means the most holy woods. It's been venerated since ancient times as the sacred home of the spirits of the forest. It's the largest and deepest forest in the region and is divided into 3 areas: south, west, and north. Try not to get lost, okay? There's an armory in the southern area. If you need some extra ammo, you might want to pay it a visit. The tunnel to the mountains is to the northeast. Head that way.
Do you want to save? Snake, have you ever seen the War of the Worlds?
No.
These flying saucers from Mars arrive on Earth disguised as meteorites. The saucers use their heat rays to attack the nearby towns. And then,
Something wrong?
the thing is, I was too scared to watch. I had my eyes shut almost the whole time.
Then you haven't seen it.
No, it's not that. It's based on a novel by H.G. Wells.
You haven't seen it, have you?
That does remind me, though. When I was 2 years old, my father listened to the radio drama version of the story. It was right after dinner on Sunday, and we were relaxing in the living room. They said monsters had come out of a meteorite that landed in New Jersey. It sounded just like a real live news broadcast. My father said he and my older brother actually believed it and started yelling and panicking. My mother supposedly grabbed me from my crib and took me out to the car, still wrapped up in blankets. But then, just as my dad was about to start the car, he realized that it was all just a radio drama. Because on the car's radio, they were playing Bing Crosby tunes. No matter what station he turned to, no one else seemed to be reporting on this big history-making news story.
Sounds like something out of the big broadcast.
Nobody said a word. We all went back to our rooms. My father and brother got off with a scolding from my mother, but I was the one who really suffered. After that incident, every time I acted up, my father and brother would scare me by saying, "The Martians are coming!"
That's terrible.
Isn't it, though?
So, you haven't seen the movie?
I saw it. So even nuclear weapons wouldn't work against the Martian war machines.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, Snake, if you conceal yourself like the Martians did, the enemy won't know what hit them.
Conceal myself.
Maybe not in a meteorite, but if you can hide yourself inside something a little more close at hand.
Close at hand.
Something like a box.
Ah, I get it. So, you never saw the movie.
I saw it, all right?
Rendezvous with Eva at the top of the mountains. According to her, the shaft leading to the mountains should be located in the far northeastern corner of the forest. Enter the shaft and head into the mountains. Proceed to the northeast.
Snake, what's that you're wearing?
It's moss camouflage. I got it from the end.
Interesting. It seems to have part of the end's power sealed within it. If you wear it in a place where the sun shines, you'll automatically recover stamina. It'll also give you a high rate of camouflage in Civiato Gorni and Socrovieno, the end's home territory.
I see you caught a Markhor. The Markhor is a kind of wild goat that lives in mountainous areas. It's quite large, so I don't think you'll be able to capture one alive, even with the tranquilizer gun.
All right.
Speaking of which, do you know the origin of the name Markhor?
No.
It means snake eater in Persian.
Snake eater.
Lost your appetite?
Not at all. So, how does it taste?
It's supposed to be pretty good.
All right.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'm melting to you. What a fear in my heart. But you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Snake, let's go over the controls for CQC one more time. Press the CQC button once to throw a punch. Press it repeatedly to launch a combo attack. CQC doesn't really start to shine, however, until you grab an enemy. Press and hold the CQC button to extend your right hand and grab the enemy. Move the left stick at the same time and you can knock the enemy to the ground. If you don't move the left stick, you can get behind the enemy and hold him prisoner. When you're holding an enemy from behind, he'll be almost completely helpless. From there are a number of things you can do. By pressing the CQC button again firmly, you can slit his throat using your knife. By moving the left stick along with the CQC button, you can knock him to the ground. You can also choke the enemy by tapping the CQC button rapidly. You can either render him unconscious or kill him outright. It's up to you. If you keep the CQC button pressed, you can use the left stick to move around with the enemy in your grip. You can also press the weapon button to use the weapon you have equipped. The enemy will be hesitant to attack as long as you're using one of their comrades as a human shield. Use that moment of hesitation to attack in first-person view. By pressing in and holding the left stick, you can interrogate the enemy. You might be surprised at the things you can learn. But stay alert. While the enemy is nearly helpless in your grasp, if you give him a chance, he'll turn the tables on you. You can only grab an enemy using CQC when you're using a weapon that will allow you to reach out with your right hand, such as the survival knife, a handgun, or your bare hands. You can't grab the enemy when using weapons that take both hands to use, such as assault rifles, or that prevent you from controlling the enemy with your right hand, like hand grenades. In short, you can't use CQC when equipped with assault rifles or hand grenades. You can tell whether a weapon is compatible with CQC or not by looking at its icon.
I heard you fought against KGB troops in the Virtuous mission, but this time you're up against Spetsnaz. Spetsnaz is the Special Forces unit of GRU, the intelligence wing of the Soviet Defense Ministry's General Staff Office. Spetsnaz troops undergo rigorous training in all types of special ops, from assassination and demolition to intelligence gathering. That and Volgan's loaded, man. His unit is one of the best equipped in the entire Soviet Union, if not the best. I heard the enemies you encountered in the Virtuous mission were only carrying weapons like AKs and grenades. Well, it ain't that simple anymore. In addition to AKs, some of the patrols you'll encounter might be equipped with Scorpion submachine guns and shotguns. The Scorpion is even lighter than the AK, making it much easier to handle. Basically, a guy with a Scorpion is not gonna miss you as often as with an AK. The shotgun is a powerful weapon. One blast is enough to floor you and you're likely to be seriously wounded. Watch for that, man. So you've got your uniform and your face paint, but that alone isn't enough to make for good camouflage. Camouflage means blending in with nature. To make your disguise complete, you've got to keep a low profile and avoid overt movements. As long as you've got the uniform and face paint working for you, and you're lying flat keeping still, you won't have to worry about being spotted from a distance. On the flip side, dancing around your enemy in perfect camo is still a dead giveaway. So if the enemy's looking for you and he's getting too close for comfort, just lay low for the time being. What's that you've got there?
Thermal goggles. From what I can tell, they detect and display sources of heat.
You're kidding me. They actually made a passive infrared night vision device small enough to carry around with you?
What, is that special or something?
Is it special? Here in the West, we've just barely got the technology to install it on aircraft.
So that's what that thing is they put on the gunship. But doesn't the Army have something like that for driving vehicles at night? I thought I saw...
You mean the ANPAS-5? That's an active infrared night vision device. It fires infrared beams from an infrared projector and uses the reflections to build an image. Those goggles you've got there are completely different. Basically, when you've got those equipped, you'll be able to spot enemy soldiers in the jungle with ease, even if they're camouflaged. They might even help you find traps. But you won't be able to see the terrain as well, so watch your step. You're wearing the chocolate chip pattern.
Chocolate chip? You mean this camouflage?
Yeah.
I've never heard of a camo pattern called that before.
Yeah, I know. I just thought it up right now. The chocolate chip pattern is probably designed to provide cover in a desert environment. It should work best against a sandy or rocky background.
Makes sense, but why'd you call it chocolate chip?
Because that's what it reminds me of.
What?
Those little round cookies that Major's always snacking on?
They're not cookies, they're scones.
Major!
It's not a snack, it's afternoon tea.
Snack, tea, same thing?
No, it's not. Look here, afternoon tea is a fine old English tradition.
Uh-oh, here we go again. Talk to you later, Snake.
The origins of afternoon tea go back to the Victorian era. Anna Maria, the 7th Duchess of Bedford, was...
Snake, what's with that face paint?
It's called Oyama.
Oyama?
Yeah, it's the name of an androgynous Japanese deity.
Are you serious?
That's what I heard.
From who?
Paramedic.
Never mind. In any case, that face paint doesn't seem to work very well. Your camo index is way down. Unless you want the enemy to see you, I'd change to something else.
Oh. Okay.
Let me guess. You were just getting to like it.
It kinda grew on me.
Fine. Get yourself shot. Looks like you got your face painted in desert color. Desert is a brown-colored face paint used for operations in mountainous terrain as well. It should let you blend in well in mountain and desert environments.
Snake, the altitude in those mountains is pretty high. That means the oxygen concentration in the air is lower than normal. When there's less oxygen in the air, naturally you'll be breathing less oxygen as well, and the oxygen content of your blood will go down. In other words, you run the risk of becoming hypoxic. Hypoxia is a very serious condition. In the worst cases, it can lead to pulmonary and cerebral edema. I don't think you need to worry right now, but all the same, be careful.
So, what do I need to be careful about?
In high altitude areas, you will tire quicker than normal.
Okay.
Snake, climbing uphill takes a lot of stamina as it is, but on top of that, the air up there is thinner than normal. You're burning through stamina a lot faster now than ever before. Keep an eye on your stamina gauge. Be sure to eat something to restore your stamina before you run out.
You made it to the mountains. Those mountains are known as Krasnogorye. The name means the Red Mountain Ridge in Russian. The entire range has been fortified to act as a defense for the great fortress of Groznygrad. The area near the top has been dug with bunkers and trenches, and there are anti-aircraft gun emplacements everywhere. It's literally an impenetrable wall. Proceed with caution. Oh, there's a provision storehouse in the hillside area, and there's an armory at the summit. I'll meet you in the ruins at the top of the mountains. The summit is still a ways up. Keep going forward.
Who's that?
He's over there?
HQ, HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the intruder. Going into high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
Freeze.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. Unable to determine the problem.
Understood. Return to your position.
Snake, climbing uphill takes a lot of stamina.
I could go for seconds.
I see you've caught a Thai cobra. The Thai cobra is a large venomous snake that carries an extremely potent neurotoxin. Be careful not to get bitten. If you do get bitten, go into the survival viewer right away and use Cure to give yourself a serum injection. The Thai cobra originally comes from Indochina, Thailand, and southern China. The ones in that area were probably imported as pets and research subjects before they escaped and turned feral.
Not as food.
Come again?
They weren't imported as food,
They're not for eating.
so they don't taste good then.
That's not my point. It's not a matter of whether they taste good or not. People don't raise snakes for food, period.
Okay. So you're saying they might be good to eat, right?
Only one way to find out. I see you've captured a white-rumped vulture. The white-rumped vulture is a type of vulture found in India. Its diet consists mostly of dead animal carcasses. I don't think it'll attack you, but it's a fairly large bird of prey, so you probably won't be able to capture it alive using the tranquilizer gun.
Got it.
But there is something here that's bothering me.
What is it?
They say the white-rumped vulture doesn't just eat animal carcasses. It eats human ones as well.
Is that so?
Yeah. So then if a person eats a white-rumped vulture, does that mean he's eating human meat too? What do you think?
Yeah, you had to tell me that after I ate one. SIGINT. The chopper we were talking about is flying around.
The one at the heliport?
Yeah.
Perhaps it's an armed variation of the Mi-8 HIP.
No. Some of it looks the same, but the overall shape is different. It's got stub wings, and the cockpit canopy looks like an angular greenhouse.
No kidding. Then it must be some kind of new model. I've heard stories recently that the Soviets are developing a flying infantry combat vehicle. That's gotta be it.
A flying infantry combat vehicle?
Yeah, a transport chopper with troop-carrying capabilities. Think of it as an attack transport chopper version of France's AMX VCI or the Soviet BMP. They must be doing field tests on the initial prototype.
A next-generation chopper that's a little smaller than the HIP. Maybe we should call it a Hind.
Not bad. It's cool with me.
Then it's settled. We'll refer to that new type helicopter as a Hind from now on.
The Hind is armed with a 12.7mm machine gun on the nose and rocket pods and anti-tank missiles on the stub-wing hardpoints. Normally, you'd be crazy to try and fight it on foot. If it starts attacking with the machine gun or the rockets, take cover behind something as fast as you can. As for the missiles, you should be able to knock out their guidance system by using a chaff grenade to block the radio signal. Your assault rifle won't penetrate the Hind's armor. If you don't use a rocket launcher or something with similar firepower, you won't be able to take it down. If you can take over one of the anti-aircraft guns in the mountains, you'll be more than a match for that Hind. The Hind is a transport attack chopper that can carry personnel. It might drop some troops on you. Don't get caught off guard.
Who's that?
What the?
This is HQ. Sending reinforcements. Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
HQ, please respond.
This is HQ.
Patrol here.
We've lost sight of the intruder. Going into high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?
Speak.
Scorpions. They have lethal poison.
Speak.
Listening to...
Speak. Freeze.
Pretty tasty. I'm gonna puke.
was quick.
You look like you could use some rest.
I'll be fine. It's just that playing these 2 roles hasn't left me much time to sleep.
Where'd you get those cuts?
The Colonel,
He found out?
if he knew, I'd be dead already. No, this is his hobby. He's a sadist. He gets pleasure out of making people suffer. He's scum. Does it look that strange to you?
No. I'm the same way. Scars all over.
Can I see?
No. Where'd you get this one?
I got it after defecting to the Soviet Union.
I don't think so. It's older than that. Code breaking is a desk job. Where'd you get this kind of scar?
You really want to know? Well, too bad. A girl's got to have some secrets, you know. But enough about that. You've got to get going. The Phase 2 trial of the Shagohod is about to start, and it looks like someone might be coming to spoil the party.
Khrushchev?
His forces are on their way here. The Colonel is gathering his troops together to meet them. If we don't get a move on, the security will be even tighter than it is now. You'll need this key. It unlocks the door to the underground tunnel. Once you're in there, you can follow the tunnel to get inside Groznygrad. And take this too.
What is it?
The food of the future. A well-balanced meal for the space age. It's good to eat some real food once in a while. I'll bet if I kissed you, you'd taste like a wild beast.
Do you know where exactly in Groznygrad Sokolov is located?
He's in the heart of the fortress, the weapons lab. The weapons lab is divided into 3 wings. There's the East Wing, which houses the research facilities. Then there's the main wing where the weapons are assembled. That's where the Shagohod is. Finally, there's the West Wing, which is connected via a passageway to the main building. That's where Sokolov is. To get in, you'll have to enter the main wing from the East Wing. Then, go through the passageway on the 2nd floor of the main wing.
The West Wing of the weapons lab. Got it.
There's just one problem.
Not again.
The West Wing is protected by the highest level of security. You need to be Colonel class to get in.
Colonel class?
Here, look at this picture. Major Ivan Rydenovich Rykov. Pretend you're him.
How do I do that?
Steal his clothes. You look similar from behind. They won't know the difference. Your face might be a problem, so you just have to figure something out. He should be somewhere in the East Wing.
All right. But how am I supposed to escape once I get Sokolov out of there? Command said you're supposed to have something ready for me.
And I do. There's a lake 30 miles north of here. I hid a wig there.
A wig?
It's a state-of-the-art ground effect vehicle.
A ground effect vehicle? I can't fly one of those.
That's okay. I happen to be an excellent pilot.
Taking off from a lake is trickier than it looks. It's not like riding a motorcycle. You've got to be more delicate.
Of course I will. You've seen how good I am with the bike, right?
Right. You handle the escape then. I'll head for Groznygrad.
Wait a minute. There's something I wanted to ask you.
What?
What's the story between you and the boss?
She was like a mother, and my master.
And your lover?
It went deeper than that.
Deeper?
Half of me belongs to the boss.
Do you love her?
No, nothing like that.
Do you hate her?
Does it have to be one or the other? Love or hate?
Between a man and a woman? You bet.
For 10 years, we lived and died together. You couldn't possibly understand.
And you think you can kill her now? That's your mission, isn't it? Assassinating the boss? Snake? Is there anyone you like? Someone special?
I've never been interested in other people's lives.
You were interested in the boss.
She was different.
Really? How do you feel about me?
I should be asking you the same question.
Me? I can fall in love if it's part of the mission. Even with you. Snake? What's wrong? See you around, Snake. Take care of yourself.
What about you?
I've got to hurry back and play my other part.
Are you going to be okay?
Not sure. They're not stupid, and they know there's a spy. There's no way you could have gotten this far all by yourself.
Colonel. Did he talk?
No, he died before I could get it out of him.
Wasn't the spy then?
Look at this.
A transmitter?
Exactly. Planted to keep someone informed of his location.
But does this mean Granin was the spy?
Perhaps he was being used by someone else.
Perhaps. This man was our comrade.
Comrade or not, he's of no use to us now.
I don't approve of your methods.
I don't need your approval. I'm in command here.
And that nuclear shell?
Still feeling sore about that, are you? What are you gonna do? Report it to the authorities? This is war, Major. The Cold War, fought with information and espionage. We must root out spies wherever they hide. It is kill or be killed. Potential threats must be weeded out. Your feelings are a menace to the unity of our organization. Someone is guiding the enemy's hand. A single man can only accomplish so much. Make no mistake, there is a spy among us.
But casting suspicion on our own
The
comrades.
C3 explosives have been stolen.
You think it was the American?
No, he could not have reached this fortress yet.
Then who?
I'd be careful about suspecting your own men.
Boss,
Where have you been?
The fear and the end have fallen.
damn it! CIA dog? That leaves only the Fury. How can the legendary Cobras be beaten so easily?
He's good.
Fallen for him?
Don't worry. I'll take care of him.
What is he after? Must be more than just Sokolov.
America is out to destroy the Shagohod and get its hands on your inheritance. The philosopher's legacy.
Impossible. The legacy,
Then they're out to kill me as well. Colonel, tighten the security on this place. He's coming here, I'm sure of it. I'm gonna get the Davy Crockett.
Perfume. Nice boots. Make sure you polish them up properly.
You've got the key from Eva. Now use it to enter the underground tunnel. The great fortress of Groznygrad is at the end of that tunnel. The door to the underground tunnel is in the summit area. Hurry.
To take a rest, all you have to do is save and exit the game. The next time you load your save data and continue the game, your stamina and life will have recovered. How much they recover depends on how long of a rest you take.
So the longer I rest, the more I'll recover.
That's right. If you're so exhausted that you don't even have the strength to find food, save the game and take a rest and you'll be back on your feet.
I hope that never happens.
So do I. But you never know. Just don't forget, okay?
I won't.
You say Grannon's shoes were rigged with a transmitter? That sounds like something the KGB's been working on lately. It's exactly like you described. A miniature transmitter that's small enough to put in a shoe.
Granite said he got the shoes from a woman called Tatiana. You think she's a KGB spy?
Could be. Or maybe it's some kind of ploy to throw suspicion on him. Anyway, it's your job to find out.
Good point.
Do you want to save? Snake, have you ever seen For a Fistful of Dollars?
Nope, never.
It's a spaghetti western.
Spaghetti western?
It's really cool, especially the main character's stylish gunplay.
Gunplay?
I saw it in England on the Major's recommendation, but it hasn't come out in the States yet. It's so cool. They'll bring it to America, I'm sure. You have to see it sometime.
Sure.